Okay, welcome back to American Agenda. We just heard from Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Tel Aviv talking about the Hamas in the war with Israel right now, and we want to bring in our guest to help break that down. Joining us now to discuss is former spokesperson for the Israeli consulate, Shahar Azani, and spokesperson for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Tal Heinrich. We thank you both for coming on. Tal, I'm going to start with you. A lot to digest right there. Let's start with the ceasefire. Hamas proposed a 135-day ceasefire. Netanyahu has rejected it, saying that we believe victory maybe is just a few months away. So talk about that.
Well, we just heard Secretary of State Antony Blinken referring to Hamas's terms as non-starters. And I'll say this, we want to see all hostages released immediately and unconditionally. We are pursuing every possible avenue diplomatically and also militarily to bring about their release. We want to reach another framework. But my prime minister articulated the red line, so to say, of any potential deal. And it cannot include the release of thousands of Palestinian prisoners who were involved in terrorism one way or another. Thousands will not be released, and it will not include the complete pullout of IDF forces from the Gaza Strip. He said it today. We will accomplish all three goals of our war in Gaza, a war that we didn't start and we didn't want. We will make sure that all hostages return home. We will make sure that Hamas is eliminated and that Gaza will never pose a terror threat to us again.
Shahar, I want to get back to what Antony Blinken was saying there regarding Hamas's proposed truce. He said there are clearly non-starters there, but we also see space to pursue negotiations, and we believe we should pursue it. He also mentioned a potential path to a two-state solution with a Palestinian state living side by side with Israel. Your reaction to all of that?
Well, I have to tell you that the mere mentioning of giving a prize to the Palestinians after the massacre of October 7th is at the very least puzzling, if not misguided. Right now, there is only one talking point that should be carried by everybody involved and anybody who might have any influence on what's happening. And that's the fact that we still have so many innocent young girls, women, children. Kfir Bibas, young Kfir Bibas, who just marked his first birthday, is still held by these monstrosities of savages. I think that and that alone should stand in between anything that deals with these barbarian terrorist organizations. And until that they are released, we can not even begin to discuss what's going to be in the next phase. A Palestinian state based on what? The Palestinians had the Gaza Strip. They had the opportunity to build Singapore. They built a city of evil that brought about the most horrific act of anti-Semitic vile terror against innocent Israelis. Now Israelis are expected to just open their arms again and allow the Palestinians a second try, just in case the first one wasn't as successful. I highly doubt that.
Blinken, Tal, talked about that two-state solution here. And do you see that, to Shahar's point, as a reward for what they did on October 7th? Just basically what he just said in a nutshell. What's your reaction to that?
Israelis have always wanted peace, and NewsMax reported it. I think I was on NewsMax the day of when the Abraham Accords were signed. The Palestinians never wanted to join the circle of peace because they never wanted a state next to Israel, but rather a state instead of Israel. And the fact of the matter is that every time Israel made more concessions, gave more territorial withdrawals, more economic incentives, it was answered with more bloodshed, more missiles raining on our communities, buses exploding in our cities after the Oslo Accords. So if we want to talk about a real, durable, sustainable peace, and not just empty slogans, the right conditions have to be in place first. The Palestinian society must de-radicalize. Gaza must be demilitarized. And as the Prime Minister stated, the Palestinians should have all of the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers that can threaten Israel. Because Israel without security, is it peace? Does it seem like peace to anyone? It's not peace.
Yeah, Tal, I want to follow up there. I know, of course, you are a spokesperson for Prime Minister Netanyahu, and I know even during the break you were in touch with his office. Can you just give us a little bit of a sense of what he is dealing with? Because he has so many people who are calling for him to resign, so many people saying horrible things about him, but at the same time, he's involved in something that I can only imagine is a nearly impossible situation. Just take us inside a little bit.
The Prime Minister is laser focused on accomplishing the 3 goals of this war that I just stated. And he had very positive, good meetings with Secretary Blinken today. Of course, he's seeing the bigger picture all the time, but we're not dealing with internal politics right now because the country is united. I've never seen anything like that in Israel. If it's in, we have a unity government in place, and also you see it all over the place where you go and you speak to people. Israel has never been in a state of this kind.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Tal Heinrich and Shahar Azani, thank you so much. Such a lot to discuss on this topic. Sorry, we're out of time.